As a microbiologist, in the wake of COVID-19, I've been asked a lot of questions about just how this new coronavirus came from animals and why infections acquired from animals are so dangerous to humans. Firstly, I really think it's worth pointing out that the name of this new virus is SARS-CoV-2, which stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, and the disease that it causes is COVID-19. It's quite often the case that viruses and the diseases that they cause have completely different names, such as the HIV virus, which causes the disease we know as AIDS, or the Epstein-Barr virus, which causes glandular fever or infectious mononucleosis. Coronaviruses come from a very large family of viruses that infect animal cells. Some coronaviruses infect camels, some coronaviruses infect chickens, some infect bats, and indeed humans. Corona means crown, and the name of the virus is derived from the large crown-like spikes sticking out from its membrane. Now, these spikes are selectively sticky. They don't just stick to anything, but when they bump into a specific molecule on the outside of an animal cell, they stick. And then they are swallowed by the host cell, and once inside, the virus hijacks the cell's machinery to replicate itself, create more viruses at the cell's expense. The SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19 is a zoonotic disease. This means that it originates in wildlife and then jumps to humans from the handling or consumption of an infected intermediary host. COVID-19 was first identified in December 2019, emerging from a wet market in Wuhan, China. Genetic analysis shows that there is a very similar virus found in bats, but reports say there were no bats being sold at that particular wet market. So there had to be another infected intermediary host that was either being handled or consumed by patient zero that spread the virus to the human population. In a crowded city like Wuhan, the virus spread like wildfire, and with the ease of international travel and many asymptomatic cases, that's people having the virus but showing no symptoms so they don't know they have it and pass it on, by March 25th, 2020, there were over 400,000 cases in 150 countries. Wet markets are where fresh produce and meat is sold, and it's not uncommon to find at these markets monkeys, bats, rats, snakes, many mammals and bird species being slaughtered in situ near open dump sites with no drainage. And this creates a perfect storm for cross-species transmission of pathogens such as bacteria and new viruses. Whenever you have these novel interactions with a range of species in one place, you get these spillover events which can unleash new viruses onto the human population. Now, these viruses might seem to just pop out of nowhere overnight, but we have been warned about this potential pandemic for many years. Even today, I was reading an article from 2007 published in the American Society of Microbiology warning that bats are a natural reservoir for SARS-CoV-like viruses, and with the culture of eating exotic mammals in China, this is a potential ticking time bomb. Now, here we are in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, and we really do need to call on governments to ban wildlife trade and wildlife markets. These wildlife markets are also a threat to biodiversity as they encourage poaching and the capturing of wild animals. Recent studies on the virus's genome are pointing to the pangolin as the missing link for SARS-CoV-2 transmission between bats and humans. Pangolins are on the verge of extinction, and they are the most trafficked animal on the planet. Their scales and body parts are used for food, rituals, and traditional Chinese medicines in the region where COVID-19 broke out. But we won't know for sure until more detailed research is done. So why are diseases acquired from animals so dangerous to humans? Well, one of the reasons is that we just don't have the means to deal with them. Our immune systems have never encountered these novel viruses before and don't have the know-how to deal with the invader. Most viruses entering the human body are destroyed by the immune system, or they pass through the gastrointestinal system. However, once in a while, an animal virus will be able to replicate within a human host. When this happens in the body of the first human, it is a crucial time. At this critical point, the virus may mutate and evolve under selective constraints of the human body for the first time, adapting and improving itself for replication within its host. At this time, the immune system must retaliate. It must keep up with the virus's evolution. But if it's never experienced this threat before, it has no pre-existing immunity within its defenses, and so it must create one as soon as possible. But as this defense is part of the adaptive immune system, it takes longer to activate. In the meantime, the virus may have already evolved and replicate faster within its host, or even escape the immune system's retaliation. So the immune system and the animal virus have actually entered into a race whereby one of the two competitors could actually win, or the two competitors will eventually reach a stalemate.